I know you'd have heard of scientists and assume that scientists are from abroad. But how many of you have ever really thought of Jamaican scientists? Well, right now we are going to look at a few of the Jamaican scientists. Yes, I said a few because guess what? There are many Jamaican scientists, but right now we are only going to look at a few of them. The first one is Professor Manley West. Now, Professor Manley West, a Jamaican pharmacologist who lived between 1929 and 2012, did a whole lot of research on marijuana or cannabis, which of course in Jamaica we call it ganja. Manley West researched and developed drugs from marijuana that could treat glaucoma and asthma. What about Thomas T.P. Lecky? Thomas Lecky was a Jamaican cattle breeder. He bred the Jamaica Hope, the Jamaica Red, and the Jamaica Black. And he bred these cattle so that they were adapted to the local Jamaican climate and could produce more milk and beef than other cattle in Jamaica could. Of course, Professor or Dr. Thomas T.P. Lecky lived between 1904 and 1994. Have you ever heard of Dr. Henry Lowe? Well, this great Jamaican scientist was born in 1939 and he is still alive. He is a Jamaican scientist, philanthropist, and businessman. Among his works is that he has written many science books, developed many chemicals from plants, and even today is one of the main researchers in medical marijuana. And right now he has a company that he established to research and produce ganja products, which he refers to as Medicanja. What about this lady? Well, Dr. or Professor Paula Tennant is the first person from the Caribbean, not just a woman, but the first person from the Caribbean to develop a bioengineered plant product, and the first person to create a papaya that is resistant to the papaya ring spot virus. So she was the first person in the Caribbean to develop a bioengineered plant product and the first person ever to develop a papaya that is resistant to the papaya ring spot virus. Kudos to Dr. Paula Tennant. Well, what of this gentleman now, Professor Errol Morrison? Professor Errol Morrison is an endocrinologist and a biochemist, and he has changed the face of diabetes in Jamaica, the Caribbean, and of course the world. His work is centered around the investigation of medicinal plants which are used in the treatment of diabetes mellitus, which of course we also call sugar. Dr. Ciceley Williams was the person who identified the cause of kwashiorkor. Now you have known of the nutrient deficiency disease which is called kwashiorkor. This disease was affecting Africa severely in the 1920s, and in 1929 this great Jamaican doctor was the one who identified the deficiency of protein as the cause of kwashiorkor, and so she set about educating people how to prevent kwashiorkor. Professor Louis Grant is a great Jamaican biologist, pathologist, and medical doctor. He was the one who identified the Aedes aegypti mosquito as the cause of dengue. So if you are aware that the dengue fever is spread by the Aedes aegypti mosquito, then guess what? You are benefiting from the research of Professor Louis Grant.